In the chilling search, authorities grew skeptical of Susan's shifting narrative, as we have with Katie Proudfoot and the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers.
Lakes and rivers were checked, but nothing turned up. Helicopters scoured highways for any trace of the Mazda protege. Investigators also searched crime reports of similar incidents, but no cases matched Susan's story. The case quickly gained national attention. News networks broadcast Susan's pleas, and families across the country followed every update. If you had a TV on during that time, it was nearly impossible to avoid the coverage. Susan's face became a national image of a grieving mother, appearing on every major news station. News crews flooded Union, capturing every development. Local residents helped organize community searches, and businesses donated food and supplies for search crews. Residents even left their porch lights on in solidarity, hoping the boys would be brought home safely. The FBI joined the investigation, and tips poured in as Susan's public pleas continued. But behind the scenes, investigators were starting to have doubts. Over the next few days, they kept pushing her, digging deeper with every conversation. They noticed that Susan's demeanor fluctuated. At press conferences, she appeared distraught and emotional, but other times she seemed calm and detached, especially in private conversations with officers. One detective noted how Susan seemed almost giddy about one of her sit-down
And guys, that happens with Katie a lot. And I'm looking at this because I want to show you after. I thought I emailed it to myself, but I didn't. It's the gathering of voices for Sebastian Wayne Drake that's been missing for 2 years. The event is on February 26, 2026. Sumner County Sheriff's Office on February 26, 2024. Sebastian went missing. 2 years later, our voices joined together in remembrance and love and hope. We invite the community to gather in solidarity and honor Sebastian. I'm going to put that up after so y'all can see it for whoever's going to go. Seth needs help, guys. If you're out there, please go help him. If you're local.
Television interviews. Before it began, she turned to David, wide-eyed and incredulous, as if excited about being on TV. Then, as soon as the cameras started rolling, she shifted into her grieving mother persona. She was reveling in the spotlight. Meanwhile, 24-year-old David sat beside her, shell-shocked. His expression never.
And guys, don't think for 1 second that people didn't initially think that the father was part of it, that there's no way she could have pulled this off and he didn't know. He didn't know. All right. Since then, he's been remarried, whatever. I think he's had other kids, I'm sure. But same thing with Seth. No matter what you think about Seth, no matter what weird stuff he does behind the scenes, and I don't think he has anything to do with any of this. Spirit Seeker Squad, I'm still catching up. Good to see you. Glad to see some people that I see around the internet all the time. Welcome.
Ever changing. Officers also noted that Susan wasn't asking any questions about the search for her sons. Parents of missing children usually wanted constant updates. What was being done? Had police checked new areas? Did they have any leads? But Susan was uncharacteristically passive, waiting for detectives to approach her rather than demanding answers. And when she was alone, her behavior was even stranger. She was seen laughing and chatting casually when she thought no one was watching. Investigators noted her mood shifts, how she could go from sobbing in front of cameras to being composed in private.
How about Katie and Chris? All those pictures, we see them at the store looking for a reptile because Sebastian liked reptiles, right? Oh, what about the Harley? Did Sebastian like Harleys as well? All right, yeah, I'm going to put that up there after. Yeah, he had a son, then a daughter. Then, yeah, the daughter attended the parole. Susan has been in trouble since then, so they're not going to let her out on parole. She's had sexual encounters with the deputies there and she's got a lot of stuff going on. She's a mess. Yeah, the men didn't know. Thank you for saying that, Joanne. Or Joan, I'm sorry.
Speaking of sobbing, that term is being generous, because officers weren't the only ones who noticed that her tearful pleas never seemed to produce any actual tears.
I don't know why. I don't know why he walked out that door.
And then there were the details of her story that didn't quite add up. She claimed the carjacker forced her to drive around for nearly an hour before making her pull over. But when police retraced her route, they found no witnesses, no security footage, and no evidence to support her timeline.
Of course not.
And then there was the red light. Susan initially told police she had been stopped at a red light on
And guys, it's just like with Sebastian. They have nothing, and I don't know how. I don't know how in the nice neighborhood that they have, Katie working for one of the alarm companies, that they didn't have cameras, and they didn't have cameras when Chris told us that he would watch Sebastian not get snacks or get snacks, right? He can watch Sebastian from wherever he was. So what happened to those cameras that he was watching Sebastian on? Why are they gone? Make that make sense.
Monarch Mills Road when the man approached her car. But late at night, the traffic lights were timed, so a red light would only be triggered by cross traffic and would not stay red for as long as she reported. And no one reported seeing a stranded woman or a struggle at the intersection. There was also a lack of physical evidence. There were no tire marks where Susan claimed she had been forced out of the vehicle and the assailant sped off. No one had seen Susan's Mazda. No sightings, nothing. By the third day of searching, investigators stopped focusing on finding the carjacker and started focusing on Susan. At first, investigators kept their suspicions quiet, still treating the case publicly as an active search. But behind the scenes, they were now gathering evidence against Susan. They started by re-interviewing her, asking her to go over her story again, slowly and in detail. Each time she retold it, the timeline shifted slightly. She could not remember exactly how long the carjacker had.
And you guys got to remember that too. Katie has changed her story or given different variations of it over the amount of time, but nobody's really checking or looking because we don't know what channels they always go on. I'm going to start trying to clip them if I see them. I wish I can go back to that day where I hopped on and I heard that terrible, crazy rumor about Katie and Sebastian. And then Chris hopped right on there. Give me a link, got up on the panel. I wish I had that right now. I can only tell you. All right. Yeah. Constantly changing.
Forced her to drive. She wasn't sure which direction she had been facing at the red light. She said she struggled when the man pushed her out of the car, yet there were no injuries or signs of a struggle on her or at the scene where she claimed the incident occurred. The more she talked, the more her story unraveled.
Ooh.
So they had her undergo a polygraph test, 2 of them. She failed both of them.
Have the 2 of you taken a polygraph?
I have.
I have not.
Would you be willing to?
I've offered and volunteered on many occasions.
And I watched this. I played it with y'all when this came out, and she offered it. He was supposed to go in the next day, and he never showed up. All right. And by now, they've already left. They're over here in the RV traveling, right? She moved away. And look at her demeanor. Again, Chris takes the lead. She sits there all zanned out or whatever her deal is. I don't know.
To take a polygraph, and I was told directly by law enforcement because of my whereabouts, I did not need one.
Awkward silence.
I understand. Miss Proudfoot, did you pass your polygraph?
I did.
And while not admissible in court, they revealed to police that Susan had something to hide. As the days passed, those polygraph failures, along with the inconsistencies in her statements, would get leaked to the public.
It's got me all puzzled now because she failed it 2 times and there's something wrong somewhere or another.
Welcome to the crime crew. Thank you for being here for 2 months, Spirit Seeker Squad. You've probably been here longer, but hey, good to have you.
Sure.
Fully convinced that Susan was being truthful about the encounter, David tried his best to appease her, telling her she was just failing the polygraphs because she was distraught from all that she had been through. He coached her on how to relax during the tests, but he also noticed how she was more worried about whether people thought she was lying than she was about their boys. But law enforcement saw things differently. With each passing day, detectives.
Now, here's the thing. Law enforcement is not doing a thing. All right. Not doing a thing. They don't even have it classified as a criminal case. 30,000 because you're awesome, Jay. And I assume you got your email, my friend. I hope you did. You know how much we love you here on Guilty of Crime. And I'm so proud of you, Melissa, for the things that you do. I'm so proud of you to see that you've gone from the worst scenarios to working your butt off to get where you are. So thank you. I'm glad to have you here, and I'm proud of you. All right.
Detectives grew even more certain that Susan was lying. So they called her in for another interrogation. It had been 9 days since their boys had gone missing. And before her interview with police, she and David sat down that morning for what would end up being their final TV interview.
I think it takes a very sick and emotionally unstable person to be able to take two beautiful children like that, to be able to keep them from their parents.
Again, listen to the monotone. She took the life of her babies. She watched that car sink down while they were strapped into their car seats and drowned. All right?
Then it was time for her police interview. Sheriff Howard Wells, who also happened to be Susan's godfather, directly confronted Susan about her story, telling her that he knew she was lying about the carjacking. He pointed out that she could not have been stopped at the red light on Monarch Mills Road if there were no other cars around. He reminded her that she had already revised her statement to account for that inconsistency, but even her backup story didn't hold up.
All right. We made it through it all, everybody. Let me put this up real quick. Actually, let me put this up and then I'll go back. We're going to give away a gift card. I'm going to give away a gift card and I'm going to give away another stocking. All right. We're going to get those stockings out. Mab, we're working on your stocking and your wife's. And while we're at it, I'm going to throw another one in there for somebody in the crime crew to win. But first, I want to pull this Sebastian image up so it can stay up here while I'm doing this for a minute. All right. So that's the gathering of voices for Sebastian Wayne Drake, right? He's been missing 2 years, February 26th. I already read that to you guys. Please wear or bring something green, Sebastian's favorite color. Obviously, this is going to be local. You guys can go over to the Facebook group Justice for Sebastian to find out what's up. All right. And yeah, stockings will ship out Monday morning to make sure that we make it to you on time. So if anyone does want to buy any more stockings or anything like that, make sure you hit up my girl Tiff to get that over to you. But I'm going to be giving one out. We're going to throw it in the batch with what's already been made. And I'm going to give away a gift card. And the gift card is it's an gift card. I bought gift cards that are my email. So all you got to do is give me your email and whoever wins, I'll send that over. I already sent one to Twin Mommy Boys.